I'm Stephen Harrison, Director of Mission, Research and Advocacy for Anglicare Southern Queensland. Welcome to this video where I'd like to paint a picture for you of the role Anglicare plays as part of the Anglican Church Southern Queensland. With the wider church, we participate in God's mission in the world. Let me explain. The Anglican Church recognises 5 marks of mission. These are statements of intent for the church, what it's trying to do and achieve wherever we are. Anglicare has a particular focus on 2 of these. First, to respond to human need with loving service, and second, to transform unjust structures of society. Anglican churches and schools across our diocese spend much time and energy expressing these 2 marks by connecting with their communities, meeting needs where they can, and offering support in tough times. Look around your own suburb and you might notice that Anglican churches are busy caring on all sorts of levels. Some churches run daily or weekly community meals, offer childcare, run op shops, offer English conversation classes, host refugee action groups, are available for crisis accommodation, and the list goes on. So this kind of grassroots care happens at a local parish level, while Anglicare operates across a broader region called the diocese, and therefore has the capacity for engaging in more complex caring projects. Our vision is to create a more loving, just, and inclusive society, reflecting the life and teachings of Christ. But why does the church care enough to have a whole organisation, Anglicare, just devoted to caring? Well, there's one easy answer to that question. Because Jesus cared and told his followers to care too. In the Bible, the Gospel of Luke features a discussion about what God desires from people. In answering a question about this, Jesus includes loving your neighbour as yourself. Jesus is then asked, "Who is my neighbour?" So he tells a story. A traveller is on a dangerous stretch of road known for its bandits. Sure enough, he's attacked, robbed and left for dead. Many of his own community pass him on the road. Maybe they assume he's drunk or just don't want to get involved. Some are afraid they might get robbed too and hurry along. An important leader in the community passes and crosses the road to escape the inevitable inconvenience of caring. Then, the injured man's cultural enemy, a Samaritan, passes and takes pity on him. The Samaritan bandages his wounds, picks him up, takes him to a hotel and pays for his care and lodging. Then he promises to return and pay for any other expenses. This story would have been quite shocking to those listening who probably hated Samaritans. Jesus then asked, "Who was the neighbour to the robbed and hurt man?" The response? The one who helped him. Jesus said, "Go and do likewise." The Anglican Church tries to take this seriously. Anglicare is an expression of the church going and doing likewise, taking care of people where they are and when they need it. But Jesus didn't just talk the talk, he walked the walk as well. In the New Testament, we find Jesus claiming outcasts as his family, touching the untouchable, spending time with seriously unpopular people. Some of this action connects with the idea of the incarnation. This is the idea that in Jesus, God was present in the flesh, as a human. Jesus talks about the practical implications of this in a story in Matthew 25. In the story Jesus tells, God shows a preference for people who care, who act with practical kindness. God, described in the story as a king, says to some people gathered, "Come, for I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you welcomed me. I was naked and you gave me clothing. I was sick and you took care of me. I was in prison and you visited me." The righteous answer, "Lord, when was it that we saw you, a stranger, and welcomed you, or naked and gave you clothing? When was it that we saw you sick or in prison and visited you?" And the king will say, Truly I tell you, just as you did it for one of the least of those who are members of my family, you did it to me. What's the meaning of this story? In short, Jesus teaches that we are blessed to have each other. We can find God in people. Each person, however they appear, is part of God's family, and we are called to care for them. Anglicare is one of the ways the Anglican Church Southern Queensland seeks to continue this work and the underlying mission of Jesus. Anglicare is committed to a model of caring that recognises each person as a child of God with their own unique story and diverse needs. These are big ideas, but in summary, the Anglican Church Southern Queensland is inspired by the teaching and example of Jesus to continue this legacy of care and the work of God in the world through Anglicare. For over 150 years, Anglicare, as part of the Anglican Church Southern Queensland, has been a committed voice for others, advocating on behalf of Queenslanders and responding with compassion to the needs of the vulnerable in our community. You could say that Anglicare is motivated by the example of millions of Christians in past times living out the mission of radical and profound care. Anglicare is challenged to see clearly where need lies in our modern communities and respond with efficient and compassionate action to care for the vulnerable in our place, in this place, in your place.
Hello and welcome to Anglican Identity. But what does Anglican mean?
And we are a community called by God.
It's about faith, about family.
And with that comes all the beauty and the wonderful parts, but some of the messy parts as well.
The scriptures are the most important source of our knowledge about Jesus.
Without Jesus, there would be no Christianity and no Anglican Church.
God gave us minds and expects us to use them.
People from all walks of life celebrate together, join together, and live together.
Anglican comprehensiveness means that the Anglican Church is broad and makes space for many voices.
We have bishops and parishes, and it's clear and people feel held.
The most important things that a bishop can do is to serve as a focus for unity.
What does it mean for a national church to be autonomous?
Thread Together is a charity that is involved in getting clothing out to people who are doing it tough.
Baruna Farm is an urban farm project located in the grounds of St Francis College here in Milton.
Looking after these people in this way is just mission in action.
And I think it's also a reminder of who we are, and we are individuals, we're people, we are children of God.